From Jamestown, New York to worldwide, the rise of the Jamestown Boogie. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, people. That's the real story here. It's the fact that there's a little song that could coming out of Jamestown, New York, and spreading throughout the rest of the region. And when I first wrote the song and started making these videos of me going to the schools in our area, and it wasn't just schools, I was going everywhere. Like, I was at City Hall, of course, I was in front of the Lucille Ball murals, I was out at Lake Chautauqua. I was experimenting in trying to promote the song locally because I thought it was just a cool idea and I loved the song. So I wanted to get it out to the people of Jamestown. So I started going to these places and holding up my phone and making videos of the Jamestown Boogie playing on my phone. So I would go into Spotify, bring it up, and it would play on my phone. And in the background, there would be something cool about Jamestown. And then the text on TikTok, it would say, I wrote this song about my hometown. It's called the Jamestown Boogie. So they would, when they saw the content, or when they see the content now on TikTok, it is my face wearing this hat and these shades. That text at the top, I wrote this song about my hometown. It's called the Jamestown Boogie. And behind me is something cool about Jamestown. One of the first ones to pop off was the Lucille Ball I Love Lucy mural behind me, which is like so eye-catching and colorful, and done by Gary Peters, my artist friend here in Jamestown. Super talented guy, one of the most talented guys I know in Jamestown. Shout out to Gary Peters. But I also did Chautauqua Lake when the ice was melting, and it was spring was on the way, and in the song I say it's almost June. It's kind of a spring summer type of song. So that one did really well. But then I started doing the schools. So I did Purcell and Jamestown High School and Jefferson School and Fletcher and Wash and Ring and Love. Then we started branching out. We went to Southwestern, Frewsburg, Faulkner, Fredonia, Cassadaga Valley, Chautauqua Lake Central School, Maple Grove, Sherman, Clymer. Yes, I went to every single one of those schools and made a video for it. And I'm still going to schools. Next week, I'm going to Buffalo. I've got plans to do Silver Creek, Gowanda, Hamburg, all the schools in Buffalo. I don't even know where to begin with that list. And that's going to require some research, like where I go in Buffalo. Because in Buffalo, now we're into a metropolitan big city. I mean, I could spend a week, probably a month in Buffalo making videos about the Jamestown Boogie. And that's just one city. So then we're talking, I'm sure I'll go to Erie and Cleveland and Pittsburgh and just be making videos about the Jamestown Boogie. So let's go back to our phrase because it's very pertinent here. From Jamestown, New York to worldwide, the rise of the Jamestown Boogie. Yes, so let's get back to the story. When I was first doing the Jamestown Boogie, you're thinking to yourself, this is only pertinent and relevant to Jamestown because it's the Jamestown Boogie. Like, who else is going to care, right? Well, lots of people care. And actually, I'm finding the farther I go from the heart of Jamestown, the more people care, which is amazing because so many reasons. A lot of people in these big cities or in the farther we go out, they're from small towns too. So when they see this little song that could coming out of Jamestown from this singer-songwriter, they go, oh man, that reminds me of my little town that I grew up in. And number two, I would say there's so much overlap in the issues and problems going city to city throughout what we call the Rust Belt states. And at one point I Googled what the Rust Belt states were. It's like New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia. There's a few more, but you get my point. It's the Great Lakes states. And all of these cities have been rusting away. No, I mean, we're factory cities, which were thriving in the mid 20th century. So, like, in the rise of the Industrial Revolution with factories and like hand assembled type of things like chairs and crescent wrenches. And anyway, all these Rust Belt cities and states have a similar demographic and a similar economic development and vibe. We all have crime. We all have homelessness. We all have drug problems. Like, it's a long list of things that you could complain about if you want, all the way down to the snow and the cloudy skies, right? So all of these cities, when they see this positive song coming out of Jamestown, New York, it's like a ray of sunshine coming through the clouds down onto their Rust Belt city, and they go, look at this charming little story coming out of Jamestown. So it is true, from Jamestown, New York to worldwide, the rise of the Jamestown Boogie. Worldwide, well, that's quite a word there. Can the Jamestown Boogie go even further and become like national news and then worldwide news? I gotta believe it can. I think it can at this point. I mean, I'm pretty convinced, as long as I keep making videos about it and keep showing up wherever it's getting the most traction, which is key. I mean, I am doing the work here. Like, if I get comments from Silver Creek because I just made a Fredonia video, 2 weeks later I'm in Silver Creek making that video. So my own ambitions are also at play here, but that probably goes, it doesn't even need to be said. You can see how ambitious I am. Going nationwide. Does it become a nationwide story? If it grows big enough, and wow, this is pretty nerdy, but I think metrics come into play here. How many streams it's getting on Spotify, how many views it's getting on YouTube. At some point, numbers don't lie. And when we approach those numbers, it will be a more newsworthy story. But just as relevant, and in my heart and mind, more relevant, are videos of the actual song with people. So it's what we call UGC, user-generated content. When other people make videos of themselves doing fun things with the song, that has more value than the metrics and numbers on Spotify and YouTube. And that shows up more in like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. When people take the song and make a dancing video with it, or a lip syncing video, or start doing what I do and just show up in front of cool things in front of their hometown and make a video with the song playing in the background. That's another thing. Another thing that will probably happen, and this is happening without the Jamestown Boogie, is other people writing and recording and distributing hometown songs. Because I'm not the only one. Like, there are other, with the ease of use of AI production tools, more people are writing regional hits and small town hits. And because of that fact, the Jamestown Boogie will be showing up next to the Chicago Shuffle. Or that's probably a bad example. That's too big of a city. But like other cities will have these small town hits. And then there's the Puerto Rico song that's huge on TikTok right now. The first night in San Juan, mi hijo. You know the song on TikTok. So, and that's AI too. So we haven't even mentioned AI in this conversation. This is more about the Jamestown Boogie going worldwide. From Jamestown, New York to worldwide, the rise of the Jamestown Boogie. I love that word, the rise. That's fun. But yeah, worldwide. Can this become news in France? I'm not sure about that. That's a pretty big deal. Now we're talking like user-generated content by a fashion model in Paris, or the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom doing a funny dance to the Jamestown Boogie. Or, I don't know, African people dancing to the Jamestown Boogie. I don't know how it goes worldwide. Like, we will discover that together. So that's a pretty far-fetched phrase. The Jamestown, New York worldwide aspect of it. That's kind of funny and kind of preposterous at the same time. So I don't expect that. But going regional, yes, absolutely. It's already doing that. Going nationwide, 50-50 shot at this point, I would say. Going worldwide, I don't know. Although, one big fact about it possibly going worldwide is the fact that these streaming platforms, Spotify and YouTube, are worldwide distribution networks. So there are people in other countries, Brazil, Europe, Turkey, Australia, it's a long list, already listening to the Jamestown Boogie on my Spotify channel. So we've already made it, people. We're already worldwide. Congratulations to you for helping me go worldwide in the Jamestown Boogie. But do I really consider that worldwide? No, not really, because that's such passive listening. It can be on playlists and be shown to people, and they hear it in the background, and they don't really know about the Jamestown Boogie. They just kind of passively heard the Jamestown Boogie. So I'm not like being unrealistic about what that experience is on platforms. For it to be worldwide, I think it needs to show up in other forms of culture and press other than the streaming platforms. So like it has to become news, or be used in like other formats. So sync placements would be one. If it shows up in movies and TVs, and if I'm showing up on national podcasts talking about the Jamestown Boogie, or worldwide podcasts, or TV show interviews about the song, like it has to go everywhere, not just on Spotify and YouTube, which is like a whole other kind of distribution conversation. But I want to wrap up this video. I've gone kind of long. I'm sorry. From Jamestown, New York to worldwide, the rise of the Jamestown Boogie. Well, that gives me momentum for the rest of the day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Subscribe to the channel.